The night baseball fans had been waiting for finally arrived, a night when two unstoppable forces collided under the bright October lights. Shohei Ohtani, the global phenomenon, stepped into the postseason spotlight once again, while the Seattle Mariners, fueled by passion and chaos, brought an energy that could light up an entire city. It was a night of madness, brilliance, and heart-stopping drama, an instant classic written in the language of fire and mayhem. The crowd roared even before the first pitch was thrown. Every seat was filled, every fan on their feet, anticipating the showdown between one of the most electric players in MLB history and one of the most unpredictable teams in the league. The air felt heavy, like a storm waiting to break loose. Cameras flashed, chants echoed, and the smell of freshly cut grass mixed with tension. This wasn't just a game, it was a spectacle. From the very beginning, Ohtani looked locked in. His first warm-up pitches popped into the catcher's glove with that familiar sound, sharp, clean, powerful. The Mariners' dugout, though, wasn't intimidated. They had built their entire season on defying expectations, and tonight, they were ready to push the boundaries of chaos. As the first inning began, the stage was set for something extraordinary. Ohtani delivered a fastball that painted the corner at 99 miles per hour, setting the tone. The crowd exploded. Every time he lifted his leg, every time his glove moved toward the strike zone, a sense of inevitability filled the park. Yet the Mariners were not backing down. Their hitters adjusted quickly, fouling off tough pitches, forcing long at-bats, and making Ohtani work harder than usual. This was not going to be an easy night. In the bottom of the second, everything changed. With two runners on base, Ohtani stepped up to bat against Seattle's ace. The tension was unbearable. The pitcher wound up, released, and Ohtani unleashed. The crack of the bat echoed like thunder as the ball rocketed into the night sky, carrying with it the roar of the entire stadium. Gone. A three-run blast that left fans speechless and Mariners players shaking their heads. It was pure Shohei magic. But the Mariners refused to fold. In the very next inning, they countered. Julio Rodriguez, Seattle's young star, delivered a laser down the left field line, sparking a rally that electrified their dugout. One hit turned into two, then three, and soon the Dodgers' defense, anchored by Ohtani's composure, was suddenly under siege. The noise was deafening, the tension unbearable. Baseball at its most unpredictable. Ohtani's fire met the Mariners' mayhem head-on. In the fourth inning, Ohtani struck out the side, each pitch more precise and ferocious than the last. His splitter dropped like it was falling off a cliff, his fastball exploded at the knees. He was untouchable. The Mariners' dugout sat quietly, the earlier energy replaced with frustration. But you could see it in their eyes, they weren't done yet. Then came the fifth inning, where chaos truly erupted. A routine grounder turned into a throwing error. A bloop single dropped in just out of reach. Suddenly, the Mariners had the bases loaded with no outs. The fans gasped, the stadium buzzing with nervous energy. Ohtani stood on the mound, took a deep breath, and delivered one of the most intense sequences of his career. First, a strikeout on a slider that froze the batter. Then another on a splitter that vanished right under the bat. 2 outs. The crowd rose, screaming, begging for one more. The final pitch, a 100 miles per hour heater, blew by the hitter. Strike 3. Ohtani walked off the mound, chest heaving, as the fans erupted in an earth-shaking roar. It was dominance under pressure, the kind that defines legends. By the 7th inning, both teams had reached their emotional limits. Every pitch felt like a new chapter in a story no one wanted to end. The Mariners' bullpen fought desperately to keep the game close, while the Dodgers relied entirely on Ohtani's two-way brilliance. He wasn't just pitching, he was also still driving the offense. Another double, another RBI. He seemed unstoppable, yet the Mariners had one more trick up their sleeve. In the top of the 8th, a long fly ball off the bat of Cal Raleigh barely cleared the right field fence, cutting the lead to 1. The Mariners' dugout exploded. Their fans, thousands of miles from home, could be heard echoing through the TV broadcast. The game was suddenly alive again, and momentum was shifting. Ohtani returned to the mound in the bottom of the 8th, visibly tired but burning with determination. The cameras zoomed in on his face, sweat dripping, eyes locked. He knew this could be his last inning. The first batter lined a single, the second reached on a walk. The pressure was back. And then, on a 2-2 count, Ohtani unleashed a slider that dove out of the zone for a swing and miss. 1 out. He wasn't giving up. The Mariners continued to press, but Ohtani's willpower refused to break. Every pitch became a battle of heart and endurance. The fans sensed it too. They weren't just watching a game, they were witnessing history. When Ohtani finally left the mound after striking out his 10th batter, the crowd gave him a standing ovation that seemed to last forever. He tipped his cap, exhausted but smiling. In the 9th inning, with the Dodgers clinging to a slim lead, the Mariners made one final push. Their leadoff man singled. The next batter laid down a perfect bunt. And then, a deep drive to left field had everyone holding their breath. The outfielder sprinted back, reached up, and made the catch at the wall. The entire stadium exhaled at once. One more out. One more moment to survive. The last pitch of the night came with 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the crowd on its feet. The Dodgers' closer delivered. The batter swung and missed. Game over. But instead of pure relief, there was awe. Everyone knew they had witnessed something special, an October game that would be talked about for years. As Ohtani walked off the field, fans reached out to him, waving Japanese flags, holding up signs that read, "Believe in Shohei." His teammates surrounded him, patting him on the back, congratulating him not just for the win but for the heart he showed. On the other side, the Mariners players walked off with pride. They hadn't won, but they had battled with fire, chaos, and unshakable spirit. In the post-game interview, Ohtani's words were calm but powerful. "Every pitch mattered tonight," he said. "They played hard. We played hard. That's what baseball is all about." It was a simple statement, but it summed up the essence of what everyone had just witnessed. Social media exploded instantly. Fans called it one of the greatest postseason games in recent memory. Highlights of Ohtani's home run and his strikeout sequences trended worldwide. Mariners fans, too, flooded timelines with respect, calling their team's resilience unforgettable. It wasn't just a Dodgers win, it was a baseball moment that united fans from every corner of the world. Analysts tried to put Ohtani's performance into perspective. "He's redefining what it means to be a two-way player," one commentator said. "No one in the modern era has done what he's doing, dominating both sides of the game in the playoffs." Another analyst added, "The Mariners made him earn every out, and he still found a way." That's greatness. The stadium lights dimmed, but the energy lingered. Fans stayed long after the final out, replaying the moments in their minds, the towering home run, the fiery strikeouts, the narrow escapes. It was the kind of night that makes baseball magical. The kind of night that lives forever in the hearts of those who love the game. And for Ohtani, it was another chapter in an already legendary story. He continues to defy expectations, to merge power and grace in ways no one thought possible. For the Mariners, it was proof that even in defeat, chaos and heart can create beauty. Their fire matched his, and together they gave the world a night that transcended sport. The scoreboard showed the result, but the story went beyond numbers. It was about two teams, one unstoppable player, and the shared madness of October baseball. It was about passion, perseverance, and the unbreakable connection between athletes and fans. As the lights finally went out and the field fell silent, one thing was clear: baseball had just reminded everyone why it's the most poetic game on earth. And Shohei Ohtani, with fire in his heart and mayhem in his shadow, stood once again as the face of that poetry.